Admania Mopania Aquadams. Rise and face the east. Calling of the tribe.
My album.
Tribe to the east. Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
Banyamya.
Banyamya.
Dan.
Dan.
Shema.
Shema.
Yasharala. Yahweh. Allah Hainawa. Try to the south. South. Samaiwa.
Samaiwa.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
Zabalia.
Zabaliwa.
Oh, come. Yashikar.
Yashikar.
Zabalawan.
Zabaliwa.
Shama.
Shema.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh. Allah Hainawa. Tribe to the west. South. Turn. Gad.
Yeah.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Naphtali.
Naphtali.
Shema.
Shema.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh. Allah Hainawa. Yahweh. Tribe to the north. South. Turn. Rob. Oh, turn. Robert.
Robert.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Lord Yah.
Lord Yah.
Shema.
Shema.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh. Allah Hainawa. Yahweh. Shabbat blessing. Blessings of the Sabbath. Turn. Salakia. Blessings of the Sabbath. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the Shabbat and peace. Barakah Yahweh.
Barakah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Ahawa'ah.
Ahawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Ha-Shabbat.
Ha-Shabbat.
Ba-Shalom.
Shalom.
Blessed be Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the law. Barakah Yahweh.
Barakah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Ahawa'ah.
Ahawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Ha-Torah.
Ha-Torah.
Blessed be Yahweh in the name of your anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the light to see. Barakah Yahweh.
Barakah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Ahawa'ah.
Ahawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Ha-Awor.
Ha-Awor.
Lakra'ah.
Lakra'ah.
Blessed be Yahweh in the name of your anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the ram's horn to call Israel. Barakah Yahweh.
Barakah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Ahawa'ah.
Ahawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Ha-Awor.
Ha-Awor.
Ha-Ayol.
Ha-Ayol.
Quran.
Quran.
Lakra'ah.
Lakra'ah.
Ha'ayin.
La'ayin.
Blessed be Yahweh in the name of your anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakah Yahweh.
Barakah Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Ahawa'ah.
Ahawa'ah.
Natananawa.
Natananawa.
Ha-Shaman.
Ha-Kaman.
Zayah.
Zayah.
Lamashak.
Lamashak.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Psalms 92 in English.
The book of Psalms, chapter 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Most High, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to shoot forth thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness every night, upon the instrument of 10 strings and upon the psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. For thou, O Yahweh, hast made me glad through thy word. I will triumph in the works of thy hand. O Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Yahweh, art most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Most High shall flourish in the courts of our power. They shall bring forth. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to shew that the Most High is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. By Hashem, Hamashek Yahushai, the one of them Yad. Amen.
Amen.
The 10th commandment and the last one, Kadash. Repeat the Hebrew. La'ah,
La'ah,
Yahaya,
Yahaya,
Lakah,
Lakah,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Akorium,
Achorim,
Alpanya,
Alpanya,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Taisha,
Taisha,
Lakah,
Lakah,
Pasol,
Pasal,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Taipadam,
Taipadam,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Talakwakwa,
Talakwakwa,
Sham,
Sham,
Yahawah,
Yahweh,
Bashawa,
Bashua,
Zakah,
Zakah,
Hayawam,
Hayawam,
Hashabat,
Hashabat,
Lakadashwa,
Lakadashua,
Kabad,
Kabad,
Abaka,
Abaka,
Wa Amaka,
Wa'amaka,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Ratazak,
Ratazak,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Tana'ah,
Tana'ah,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Taganab,
Taganah,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Taina,
Tainah,
Shakor,
Shakor,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Takamad,
Takamad,
Kal,
Kal,
Hasharah,
Asharah,
Laraika,
Laraika,
Bahashem,
Bahasham,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Toa,
Tawada,
Pamyat,
Yad,
Aman.
Aman.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 1. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other powers before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and shewing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain, for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in the midst, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. By Hashem, Hamashek Yahushai, the one of them Yad. Amen.
Amen.
The book of Psalm, chapter 121, and the last one, Kadash. Repeat the Hebrew. Anashah, Ayam, Ahoriam, Ma'ayan, Yabra'ah, Isaiah, Yabra'ah, Ma Yahweh, Shaisha, Shamaran, Waratazah, La'ah, Yanathan, Lamawat, Regalia, Yala'ah, Nawam, Shashamoria, Hana, Yala'ah, Nawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shashamal, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamoria, Yahweh, Tazalia, Isle, Yamyanyad, Hashamash, Yala'ah, Hakayah, Bayawam,
Bayawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Halabana,
Alabana,
Balayala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamaria,
Yashamaria,
Makal,
Makal,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Napashia,
Napashia,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamaria,
Shamaria,
Hawalakia,
Hawalakia,
Wabwaaya,
Wabwaaya,
Mahaitha,
Maitha,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Iwalam,
Iwalam,
Bahashem,
Bahasham,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Tawada,
Tawada,
Tamyad,
Tabyan,
Aman.
Aman.
The book of Psalms, chapter 121, and verse 1. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Most High, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Most High is thy keeper. The Most High is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Most High shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Most High shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, the word of them Yad. Amen.
Amen.
The Lord's Prayer and the last one, Kadash. Repeat the Hebrew. Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kadash,
Kadash,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakwata,
Malakotah,
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah,
Ratazaika,
Zaika,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Baharataza,
Barakatah,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim,
Nathanawa,
Dalanawa,
Lakom,
Lakom,
Kayawam,
Kaniwam,
Wasalakanawa,
Wasalakanawa,
Kabawatanawa,
Kabawatanawa,
Kasalakanawa,
Kasalakanawa,
Kabawatanawa,
Kabawatanawa,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Tabayanawa,
Tabayanawa,
Banasai 1,
Banasai 1,
Abo,
Abo,
Hawashainawa,
Hawashainawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Kamalakwa,
Waha'ala,
Wa'ala,
Raithai Korah,
Ba'atai Ka'ara,
Laiwalamya,
Laiwalamya,
Bahashem,
Ba'asham,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Tawada,
Tawada,
Tamyad,
Yad,
Aman.
Amen.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. If you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. If you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. By Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushai, the word of them Yad. Amen.
Amen. The book of Psalms, chapter 133, and the last one, Kadash. Repeat the Hebrew. Shayar,
Shayar,
Hamalwa,
Ahalawa,
Ladawad,
Ladwa,
Hana,
Hana,
Ma,
Ma,
Tawad,
Tawad,
Wama,
Mama,
Nalyam,
Nayam,
Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Akim,
Akim,
Gum,
Gum,
Yakud,
Yakut,
Kashaman,
Kashaman,
Hatawad,
Tawad,
Al,
Al,
Harash,
Harash,
Yarad,
Yarad,
Al,
Al,
Hazakwan,
Hazakwan,
Zakwan,
Zakwan,
Ha'aran,
Aharan,
Shayarad,
Shayarad,
Al,
Al,
Paya,
Haya,
Madawatwa,
Marawatwa,
Katol,
Patol,
Karamun,
Karaman,
Shayarad,
Shayarad,
Al,
Al,
Haraya,
Haraya,
Tazawan,
Tazawan,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Sham,
Sham,
Tazwa,
Tazwa,
Yahweh,
Yahweh, At,
Aprika,
Abraka,
Kayam,
Kayam,
I, Haiwalam,
Haiwalam,
Bahashem,
Bahasham,
Hamashiach,
Mashiach,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Tawada,
Tawad,
Tamyad,
Yad,
Aman.
Amen.
The book of Psalms, chapter 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that went down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, the word of the Yad. Amen.
Amen. The book of Psalms, chapter 155, to praise. Praise ye Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yahweh in his sanctuary.
Hallelujah.
Praise him in the firmament of his power.
Hallelujah.
Praise him for his mighty acts.
Hallelujah.
Praise him according to his excellent greatness.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the sound of trumpets.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the psaltery and harp.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the timbre and dents.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the string instruments and organs.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the loud sounding cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the high sounding cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Everything that have breath, praise ye Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise Yahweh. Abanawa, we want to thank you for everything in which you have done unto us throughout the week. We thank you, Abanawa, for blessing us again with the Shabbat day. And Yahweh, we thank you for everything that you have planned out for this week and everything that you're going to bless us with. Abanawa, we ask, Father, that you set up a hedge of protection around us. Okay, while the word is coming out, may our bodies be served as a vessel unto you, Father, and may our mouths be used as your trumpet to call Israel, Abanawa. And may every ear that hear these words come unto the back onto the into your inheritance, Father. We ask you not because we're how would you say, pas parce que nous sommes grands, mais c'est nos prières parce que non, non, Yahweh, Amen. Okay. We shall be safe. Again, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Again, we want to thank Yahweh for another week. We thank him for another wonderful Shabbat day. It's not everybody who's blessed enough to see another Shabbat day, but us who is whom Yahweh have been merciful and kindness unto. He's allowed us to see another Shabbat day, and for that we give him all the glory and honor that he alone deserves. And let us go ahead and begin with the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17 to start.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Honor One Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
So whatsoever we do in word or deed, whatever we do, okay, whether it's within a conversation or in our actions, we have to always put into consideration what would Yahweh Shai do in everything that we do and everything that we say. Okay, so speaking of everything that we do, throughout the week, one thing that's been going on right now, and it is very sickening to even report of this. And why is that? Because I'm remembering back in the days when I was in Haiti, they used to call Haiti La Perle des Antilles, which means the pearl of the Caribbean. All the movies that you hear out there, you see, you watch the movies about the pirates going into the islands, the pearl of the Caribbean, you know, stealing gold or mining gold. These movies have been referencing Haiti. They don't say Haiti, they don't say Tahiti or Hispaniola, but they say the pearl of the Caribbean. Why would it be known as the pearl of the Caribbean? Because, you know, pearl is a pearl is a precious stone. Okay, that's how they considered Haiti, because Haiti was very fruitful when it comes to vegetation, when it comes to coffee and sugar cane and sugar. We produce all these different things. Not even including gold and diamonds and rubies and everything. But now, of all these things that we produce for our people to be eating cat food, to be brought so low to the point that, you know, they're bragging about eating cat food. You know, it is very embarrassing to even, you know, having to say such a thing, you know, on national television. But it is what it is. That's what our people have, you know, allowed themselves to be dragged down to.
Sure.
Con.
This is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 5 in the NLT. The people who once ate the richest foods now beg in the streets for anything they can get.
What? Wait. Perfect precepts. Can you go over it again?
The book of Lamentations chapter 4 verse 5. The people who once ate the richest foods.
The people who once ate the richest food. Again, we produce, okay, food to the point where we were importing to other countries. We were importing to the US. We were importing to many other nations. Okay? Now what?
Now beg in the streets for anything they can get.
Now beg in the streets for anything that they can get. Why is that? Is there more in that?
Those who once wore the finest clothes.
Those who once wore the finest clothes, the priests, the princes, once wore the finest clothes,
now search the garbage dumps for food.
You know what? I think the Pre-Shabbat service, with this precept alone, Israel, if you didn't get this, you're not going to get it anymore. The Bible explains that those who once used to eat the finest food now search the street for anything that they can get. And for those that used to wear the finest clothes, now search the garbage to find what to wear. I mean, this goes to show you that this Bible is a living book. There is no other book like it. It just, how should I say this? It just break down Yasharella to the T. Everything that we do, okay, it breaks down, it prophesied everything that we would be due this day. It lets you know thousands of years what's going to happen today. And exactly to the T is what we're doing right now. Now, for somebody to come and say that this Bible, the first thing that they'll say, oh, what version of the Bible is this? You tell them it's the Holy Bible, the 1611 version. Oh no, this Bible, that's a white man book. But things that is saying that we would be doing, it prophesied that we would be doing these things. It says exactly that. Okay, now, do you see as a whole the so-called Caucasian men doing the things that we're doing? They're not doing these things. So how could it be a white man book when it's describing us? How could it be a white man book when, wait a minute. So I'm gonna write up a book that's gonna condemn myself. How can I condemn myself? So let's get the book of Romans, chapter, 15 and 1.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves. Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification. For even Hamashiach pleased not himself, but as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproach thee fell on me.
Okay.
For whatsoever thing were written aforetime were written for our learning.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. Okay, these things that were written aforetime, okay, were written for our learning. This book was written, okay, by an Israelite, for us Israelites, to you Israelites that are out there. So again, from the first verse, where it says, we then that are strong are to bear the infirmities of the weak. So we who are in the knowledge, okay, we are coming unto you to let you know these things that you're doing. These things that you're doing, you shouldn't be doing these things. Okay? Eating cat food? Really? Now you know that the curses, it just goes to show you that the curses are in full effect. And there's no way that we can come out of it unless you come back into the laws and statutes that was given unto us by the Most High. Let's get on to the curses. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. And then we're going to go straight to 17.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power,
Mm-hmm.
to observe to do all his commandments
Mm-hmm.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Mm-hmm.
that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses
Mm-hmm.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay. So if we would not listen diligently, we would be cursed. We would be cursed. Now, to eat, if you're a human being, the Most High, you mean the Lord of the universe, he creates human being. You must know that he would know to also create food for human beings to eat. The Most High did not create humans to eat the food of animals. Now, for you to go and find pleasure on eating animal food, and you think by eating animal food, it's going to make your rear end look thicker, it just goes to show you, you're under the full force of the curses. Under the full force. Okay? Now, with us, especially Levites, who should be feeding the world? Who was once known the pearl of the Caribbean, La Paix des Antilles. We should be feeding the world. Who is brought so low to where we don't even have things to eat. You must know that it's a part of the curse. What does it say in 17?
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed shall be thy basket.
Thy baskets, okay, when you pick up these crops, you pick them up from in a basket, okay, whether you go out to the stores or whether you go out to the place where you sell your products, okay, that curse out thy basket
And thy store.
and thy stores. So regardless, you plant these crops, okay, put them in the basket, go out there and sell these crops. You'd be cursed. You'd have to be cursed. And what's even worse is the same person, okay, this lady who's selling these people who has no choice but to sell this stuff onto the Levites, onto our people. She alone know that this is an animal food, and you should not be consuming that product. When they interviewed her, what she said, "Oh yeah, I know it's an animal food. You can't eat it because you don't know what kind of chemical is in there. So if you know that, why do you sell the people that if you know they're gonna consume it?" So it just goes to show you, even your stores, the things that you're selling is cursed. Okay. Let me get the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. This is what we brought down to. Okay. Brought so low, unless Israel, unless you open your eyes and drink that coffee, that spiritual, that nice hot cup of coffee, that's what you're gonna come down to. And don't say, "Oh, the Levites did that. Oh my gosh." No, don't say that. If you don't open your eyes and wake up and drink that coffee, you're gonna come to worse. Go ahead, get that.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
My people
Mm-hmm.
are destroyed
Mm-hmm.
for a lack of knowledge.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You have to be destroyed in order to be eating food that belongs to animals. You have to be destroyed. You have to be, in Creole they said, ou perd ton feuille. You have to have lost a leaf, a strain from your mind in order to think that, you can eat the food of an animal. People with good sense, if you have your food there and an animal just kind of touch up on it, you wouldn't eat it if you have good sense. But then, you're destroyed. You don't know any better. So what do? You eat the same food that animals eat and feel good about it and bragging about it. Huh? Bragging and say, "Oh, look how thick I got in just 2 months. Oh, look." And they're shaking their rear end. "Oh, look at that. Look at all that I got." No. You cannot trust your enemies. But the book of Sirach, chapter, 12 and 10. You cannot trust your enemies. When you trust your enemies, that's what they cause you to do. Eating animal food. Let's see if we can trust our enemies.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Never trust thine enemy.
Never what?
Never trust thine enemy.
never trust thine enemies. Your enemy does not want the best for you. Your enemy, they only want to put their knees over your neck to choke the breath out of you. Your enemy, what did excuse my French, but jackass Joe Biden, what did he say? He said if it was for him, if he could have, he would have plunged Haiti 300 feet below sea level. If it was up to him. Now, a guy like that, he's gonna offer you. First of all, they're the reason. These people are the reason why we fell in that condition. They're the one that got in contact with the Dominicans. And again, the Dominicans, although we are the same people, but Simeon, shame on you, man. Getting money off from your own enemy to destroy your brother. Shame. You must know that. Don't think because of your skin color, don't think that you're not under the curses. You're under the same curses that the Levites are going. What's the matter of fact? Hey, we're the same people. We're brothers and sisters. When you think you're doing the Levites wrong, remember, you're in the same island as the Levites. When your enemies is done with the Levites, guess what? They're coming on for you. Right. While they're choking your brother over there on this side of the island, guess what? Little by little, they're choking you down too. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, they're choking you.
I got precept.
Come on.
This is Psalms chapter 55, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For it was not an enemy that reproached me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I could have borne it.
Wait. Start from the top.
For it was, it's like in Psalms chapter 55 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For it was not an enemy that reproached me.
It's never going to be an enemy that's going to approach us. The enemy, when the devil comes to you, he's not going to come to you as a red man with two horns, with a pitchfork and a long tail. No. The devil's not going to come to you as the devil that he is. Yet the devil's going to come to you as an angel of light. He's going to come to you, dressing in all white with angel wings, He's not going to come to you as an enemy, but rather he's going to come to you as a friend, as a business partner. Read on.
Then I could have borne it.
Mm-hmm. If you knew your enemy came to you as your enemy, then you would know how to avoid your enemy. You would know how to better, how to talk to him better. You would know the ins and outs of your enemies, how to protect yourself, how to protect your home. But your enemy is never going to come to you as an enemy. But how does it come? Read on.
Neither was it he that hateth me that did magnify himself against me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would have hid myself from him.
Then if you knew that was an enemy, if you knew that was a person, with a sword, with a big old gun, with an AR-15 that's coming towards you, you would know, to hide away from him. You would know, hey, before he get me, I get him first. But he's not gonna come to you in that manner. Read on.
But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and mine acquaintance.
But instead of an enemy, it was someone equal to you, someone who's right beside you. It may even be someone within your house. Someone, you know, who you're not even gonna think that's gonna do you wrong. That's it.
Yeah,
Good con.
listen to it. But you were saying about Simeon going against the Levites. Esau having Simeon go against the Levites.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's the reason, you know, they didn't come as an enemy, because if they came to the Levites, you know, as themselves, they know that the Levites would be, you know, more cautious. They would watch how they would deal with them. But then again, they came unto us, you know, as our own brothers and sisters, people whom we share the same island with, you know, who's supposed to be bygone and bygone, how do you say it? Let bygone be bygones, you know. And like Priest Kahan says, you know, ivory, emery and ivory, you know. And the Levites, they say, poisson crasé dans bouillon, you know. They let, I'm always saying this, man. You have to give it to Esau. It's not a mistake that the Bible, you know, treats Esau as the snake of the grass. He, the cunning hunter. This guy is very cunning. You have to give it to him. For you to have to get someone's own family members to go out and kill him, and while you, the actual hunter, is sitting back, you know, eating his popcorn in his house, just laughing, you know, look at those fools. Look at him, look at the way he's killing his own family. And look at me right here. I'm just sitting down, you know, enjoying my mimosa, you know, and this fool out there, look. And look at the guy. Look. They had the best food, the finest food, and now, look, now they're eating of the animals. Yet there was a time, you know, when we used to follow the Most High commandments, as we should. Let's get that. Job chapter 30 and verse 1. Let's see.
The book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 1. But now, they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
You see, these people are people that our fathers would not even trust to be around his dogs. Those are the people that's selecting what for us to eat and drink. Those people we wouldn't even trust to be around our dogs, because not only that they're gonna eat the dog's food, but they're also gonna, how can I say this? Gonna take the dogs as wives. You know, I don't know what other, you know, ways I can say this, you know, because this is a PG-13, you know, and these are the people that we're following. These are the people that we're listening to. These are the people that we're listening as far as what to eat. And wait. Let's get the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 13. I think it goes down to 15.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles,
Mm-hmm.
whither I will drive them.
So, defiled bread, the Israelites, usurp of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Most High said, even this, you would be eating defiled bread from amongst the Gentiles. Today, not only that they're feeding you GMOs, fake food. So who would, the Most High, gave us plants, and animals, what to eat and what not to eat. So he gave us what we can eat. So who would be wicked enough to do away what the Most High gives to eat and create something of a lab to give you to eat rather than eating something natural? And then they're going around saying, oh, there's too many people in the world, there's not going to be enough food for people to eat. Heck yeah, there's not going to be enough food for people to eat. You're burning everything. You're destroying everything. You're spraying everything down. There's not going to be enough food for people to eat. Who would be wicked enough to do such a thing? And feeding people fake food. Now they got this thing, Salakia, brother. about this plant-based Whopper. Fake Whopper. A meat that was made in the lab. That's not even meat. They said it's plant-based. It's not even plant.
That's right.
Huh? It's not even plant. You don't even know what you're eating anymore. Who would be so wicked to do these things?
Right.
Now you know that these people are the wickedest of the wicked.
That's right.
What does it say in the book of Malachi? Malachi chapter 1 and verse 3. You have to be the wickedest of the wicked to do the things that these people are doing.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1, and verse 3. And I hated Esau.
And I what?
And I hated Esau.
No, Jesus loves everybody.
And I hated Esau.
That's right, Esau. The Most High hate you, like it or not. And is it for no reason that the Most High said he hated Esau? Go ahead. Go.
And I hated Esau, and went and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
They shall call them what?
The border of wickedness.
The border of wickedness. Esau, Edom. Maybe, we made a mistake, we're calling Esau, the so-called the Caucasian man. Maybe we're mistaken. Let's get that out of Genesis 25:25. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. You cannot go, they're the beginning of wickedness and they're the end of wickedness. I mean, you cannot outsmart them when it comes to doing wickedness. You can't overcome them when it comes to doing wickedness.
Right.
The border of all wickedness. So let's see, by us saying Esau as being the Caucasian man, let's see if we're mistaken. Okay, let's see what the Bible says about who Esau is, or who is Esau. Maybe we're mistaken. Let's find that out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
So the first came out red. So it's talking about a twin babies. Okay? So the first set of twin came out red all over like a hairy garment. So for those that are calling themselves white, this sheet of paper is white. That's white. There's nobody that looks like a ghost. There's nobody that looks like cotton. Whether you want to say politically speaking, whether you want to say diplomatic speaking, whatever the speaking you want to speak, there's no white person. But the Bible says the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. Who every week needs to be shaved? Who needs to be shaved every week? Sometimes twice a week. You know who you are. Con. You know who you are. Okay? And you're not white. You're red. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they call his name.
And they call his name Esau.
And they call his name Esau. Okay? So, if you call yourself white, if you're a white man, woman, and children, your lineage go down to Esau. Okay? You're Esau, Edom. You're the seed that the Most High hates. Okay? So, let's get Romans chapter 9 and verse 13 to end it off. Well, to end this session.
The book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
As it is written,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob have I loved.
Wait. Who does the Lord loves?
Jacob have I loved.
So you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, the Most High is saying he loves you. You are the apple of his eyes. He loves you. Whoever touches you touches the apple of the Most High's eyes. So he's saying he loves you, Jacob. The Most High loves you, Israel. The Most High loves you, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. Keep that in your mind. The Most High loves you. And read on.
But Esau.
But who?
But Esau.
But you so-called Caucasian, white men and women and children. What does the Bible says?
Have I hated.
The Most High said he hates you. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. And we're just going to leave it as that. And with that, I pass the mic to the next dynamic speaker that's going to kick it off with the Shabbat service. Come on.
I'm one lawyer, but Yashala.
I'm one but lawyer, but Yashua.
Yeah, how about Shimi al Shabrakata?
How about Shemi Hashem?
Ahad, Bun, Yam Yam,
Bun Yashabala.
Ahad Ban Banyamin Ban Yasa.
Yahaba Shem Yahal Shabbat.
Yahweh Shabbat.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
All right, let's give the mighty captains a round of applause. God, all praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For surely his mercy endureth forever. You know, like we do every Shabbat, you know, we go over the Torah portion. Torah, the Torah, or the Torah in Hebrew means law or instruction. So every Shabbat day, what should we be getting? Law and instruction on how to govern our lives. Because believe it or not, us keeping these commandments and this Torah is what's going to get us right in the eyes of the Most High God. This is why we didn't die from COVID. This is why when the famine comes, and we've been saying this for a long time, famine is going to come. Matter of fact, give me Jeremiah 37 real quick. Give me Jeremiah 37. We speak about these things. The scriptures speak about these things. 100 shall die to your left and 10,000 to your right. These scriptures talk about these things. Now, guess what? Now we're living to see these things play out. Now, you have to make an option. Do you want to be on the right hand of the Most High when these things happen? Or do you want to look like them Ethiopians on the commercials and die off starvation on TV? You got to choose. Because the only way to be able to survive is keeping his laws of the Most High. Is being obedient to the Most High God. Go ahead and read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7.
Read.
Alas, for that day is great.
That day is what?
That day is great.
That day is great. You think those cattle are being killed by coincidence? Do you think a lot of these food warehouses, I believe these where they manufacture the food, you think they're being burned down on coincidence? No, we know the white man is the most deceptive, word to minister Marshall, bastard under the sun. We know that's how they move. They're very calculative in their wickedness. Everything is not for coincidence. I remember a brother from another camp said this. The minute you see trucks, like this 18-wheeler trucks cannot bring food anymore, or you start to see them less and less of them, that shows you there's a famine that's coming. Because we get all our supplies and food by who? These trucking industries. When the gas is going up, it's going to make it very difficult for them to be able to move around. That means less food for us. That means we're going to have to stop relying on the so-called white man. Like I said earlier to the brothers, the Most High is going to do a work, even if he told us, and he told us already, we're not going to believe. Because if our people believe, over here will be packed already. The Most High is going to force you, when you say, that's my brother, that's my aunt, that's my sister, don't worry, I got you. He's going to see what you're going to do in that day. And if you have 10 pounds of rice, if you're willing to give 5 pounds of rice to the next family. That's what the Most High is going to force us to do. And to see who really is about Kum Yasha'Allah. Everybody say Kum Yasha'Allah. Not everybody believe in Kum Yasha'Allah. Because their works will reflect it.
Alas, for that day is great.
That day is what?
That day is great.
That day is great, read.
So that none is like it.
Right?
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Jacob's what?
Jacob's trouble.
And that time is coming. When things are going to heat up, that time is coming. And we're seeing that right now. I remember not too long ago, I seen an article that said gas may be $6 by next month, by the end of next month, and $8 by the end of the year, by fall. If things get that bad, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna lie, some of us are gonna need to invest bikes to get down here. The brothers who be falling asleep and don't wake up, listen, I feel bad. You won't need a teleporting machine to get down here. Yeah, because the gas is gonna go crazy, and it'll be very difficult to keep the laws of the Most High. It'll be very difficult to come here and feed the people. If you don't get it now, I don't know how you're going to get it out here, because I think we're the only ones down here so far, and we know them. But nevertheless, the Most High will have that protection if we keep the commandments. He'll have that protection. Because you mean Amos 9 and 7, real quick. Amos, I believe it's Amos 9 and 7. Because the only people that's on the hit list of the Most High is the wicked. So if you don't want to be on that hit list when you die, you got to stop being wicked.
The book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 7. Are ye not Ethiopians? Verse 10. All the sinners of my people,
all the what?
All the sinners of my people shall die shall die,
So what?
shall die
Read.
by the
So
sword.
the Most High have a hit list. He said, all the sinners of his people, you niggas gonna die. That's what he's saying. A lot of times our people think the Most High God is some soft Christian, some TBS, Trinity Broadcast Network, TBN God. The Most High is a real gangster. Who do they put the gangster in you? The Most High did. And he's the author of that. So the Most High don't have no problem eliminating nobody, man. But you have to be on his right-hand side. Give me 2 Ezra 15 and 22 with it. We're going to go down to verse 26. But you have to be in the right hand of the Most High. Our faith is going to be tested. Our patience is going to be tried. Our integrity is going to be tried. Everything about you and your integrity in this word is going to be tested. You're going to have to choose. Literally. You or this world. The Most High of this world. You're going to have to choose. And I pray that brothers and sisters choose the Most High. Because even if this flesh perish, we know it's nothing for the Most High to raise us up from the dust. He says he'll do it. Those that died in the faith, he's going to raise them up. They won't be the first ones to be raised up. Read.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 22.
Is everybody at 2 Ezra 15, 22 in the Apocrypha? Everybody say cut when you there. Huh?
2 Ezra 15, 22.
Read.
My right hand shall not spare the sinners.
So he said his right hand is not going to spare. Who's the right hand of the Most High? Who is it? It's Yahushua. Who is he sending to come judge the earth? Yahushua. So when Yahushua comes, is he going to be sparing people? If he said, please, 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 Jesus, he's not going to spare you in that day. Because the Most High is going to put that spirit of anger on him to judge this earth. This earth needs to be judged. Read.
My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth.
So even if you beg in that day, that sword is going to come for your neck. Because now is the opportunity to repent.
Right.
Now is the opportunity to show the Most High what you're about. Because when things get hard, you already spent all that time of peace, training, and getting ready for those hard times. So it's not going to catch you off guard. Because right now it's practice.
Right.
Right now it's just practice. When Jacob's trouble happened, that's game time. Now all that stuff you were screaming in the streets, all that stuff you wicked, you're going to die, you have no faith. Now you're going to be tested in your faith now in that time. Read.
Verse 23. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled.
Read.
Woe to them that sin, and keep not my commandments.
That do what?
And keep not my commandments.
So what does woe mean according to the Bible? What does woe mean? Go right ahead.
Saith the Most High, I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. For the Most High knoweth all them that sin against him.
You see, this is where they get it from Santa Claus. The Most High is the one that originally had the naughty or not list. So he said what?
For the Most High knoweth all them that sin against him.
So he said he knows when you're breaking the commandments. The Most High is just patient. He's just long-suffering. All these millions of Israelites he got to stay on top of. The Most High, I heard, Yashima was going on. All right, let's give him another chance. I have another 10,000 Yashimas I got to deal with that's going on. Give him some patience. Read.
I will not spare them, Salakia, for the Most High knoweth all them that sin against him.
Read.
And therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction.
The Most High is going to deliver you to death and destruction. That's going to happen. But you got to keep his commandments. If you don't want to die, you got to keep the Lord's charge.
Right.
Because the commandments was made to fix that. That's what it was made for. It wasn't made for somebody who's already doing it. It was made for the people that's not doing it. Because they need to change. Let's get First Timothy 1:8 real quick. Start from verse 7. It was made for them because they need to change. They need to convert themselves and be clean. We're here because we were filthy in the eyes of the Most High. Some of us still filthy. Sometimes you wash something and you still got that stain on it, that wine. Some of us is like that clothes, man. You still got that stain, you need to throw right in the washer again. We need to cleanse ourselves if we want to get right with the eyes of the Most High, if we want to be delivered. Let's get that.
the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 8.
Start from verse 7, Baba Bishop.
Verse 7.
Desiring
to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say, nor wherefore they affirm. But we know that the law is good.
The law is good, cut.
If a man use it lawfully.
If you use it the way it should be used. If you apply it according to its correct application. Read.
Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
Because why isn't the law made for a righteous man? Let me make sure everybody listens. Why isn't the law made for a righteous man? Huh?
Why is the law not made?
Yeah, read it again.
Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
To put in correction.
Why?
If he is already corrected, he don't need to be put in correction.
Exactly. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you don't need to get corrected. It's like your parent having a belt. Does your parent need a belt for somebody who always obeys what the parents say? No, it's for the disobedient child so he can learn to do what the parents say.
Right.
Read.
But for the lawless,
But for the who?
the lawless,
The Most High is coming back to destroy the lawless. Read.
and
The
disobedient,
disobedient. Read.
for the ungodly and for sinners,
Read.
for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers,
Read.
for them that defile themselves with mankind.
So that's what just do. When you just defile yourself with mankind, that's that homosexuality. What's a whoremonger too? A lot of times, brothers go over this. What's a whoremonger? Let me say it right. Trooper. Pakwadaya Allah. Go ahead. Whoremonger.
Selling the body of a woman to other guys, from guys to guys.
That's prostituting them. What's a whoremonger? Jake does this all the time.
An unstable person.
Lie. Anybody else want to get one more shot before we continue?
Or a man going from like fornicating.
Exactly. Like the captain said, habitual fornicator. It's a brother, it's like a grasshopper from this woman to this woman to this woman to this woman, and there's no accountability, there's no marriage. He's just all over the place.
Right.
Like COVID-19. That's what a whoremonger is. Read.
For men stealers,
For kidnappers,
for liars,
for
perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine,
Read.
according to the glorious gospel of the blessed Yahweh,
Mm-hmm.
which was committed to my trust.
So all these people that refuse to keep the commandments of the Most High and still allow themselves to be subject to these iniquities, they're gonna go. They're not gonna make it to see the kingdom of the Most High God. They're gonna have to die in the second death. And us as the children of the Most High, and we trying our best to keep the commandments, we'll be protected. Only if we stay obedient. Only if we stay faithful. There's no, the Most High knows our heart. There's none of that. The Most High knows your heart, and that's why you're here, because He knows your heart was wicked as hell. That's why you're here. You mean Isaiah 65:13, and I'll be it. Go ahead.
Also, when it says any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, if you read 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, you can get more that's on that list, right? But what does it say in 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, right? It says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven? And then he goes on to list those things, showing that what? The law is made for the people like that, man. And that's what this whole walk is about. You yourself cleaning yourself up so that you can clean somebody else up. And everybody's gonna have their own mindset, just like people always say, you gotta have your own opinion. You gotta have this, you gotta have that. When you submit yourself unto the Most High, your opinion go out the door. When you submit yourself unto the Most High, your feelings go out the door. Because as men within this nation, we have to be about the Most High God. And the more that we speak, people are going to understand what it is to be about the Most High. And guess what? They might refuse to take heed to what you're saying, but they remember what you said. So now, when they see you 5 years later, they're going to use the same words you told them on the street and examine you, man. All right? And you don't want to get caught lacking because Israel not going to let it go. Right? They're going to make a YouTube channel about you, right? Israelites starting to lose their faith. You don't want to be that person, man, to make the Most High look bad. What you got called, Capsalaki?
Isaiah 65:13. Isaiah 65:13. This is one of my favorite scriptures. Protection the Most High gave us. Isaiah 65:13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, behold, my servants shall eat.
We're gonna what?
My servants shall eat.
Now, when famine happened, who's used to eating all the exquisite and whole foods and sprouts? Who's used to shopping there? Where were you used to shopping at?
Presidente.
We're used to eating white rice and sardines, and it'd be busting with avocado, right? We're used to struggle food, right? So we're gonna be good. It's not gonna affect us like that because we're living it right now.
Read. But ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink.
We're used to drinking. Some of us from the Caribbean collect rainwater still. We're used to doing that. So when there's a limit of water, is it gonna hurt us? We're used to it already, read.
But ye shall be thirsty.
But they're gonna be thirsty, read.
Behold, my servants shall rejoice. But ye shall be ashamed.
Because when there's no power, what do the children of Israel do when there's no power? Well, we go get some wood from the trees, some dry lumber. We put it on the barbecue, we grill. We go play dominoes under the tree. We go play soccer. We go talk for hours because brothers will do that till 5 a.m. We'll be just fine without TV. We'll be just fine without going to yachts. We'll be just fine without going jet skiing and parachute diving and stuff like that. But you see, you're not ready for the wilderness. You're not ready for the wilderness. That's why. But we're so used to not having, it's not going to really affect us like that. It's not really going to hit us. It's not going to be a blow because we're used to that already. Read.
Verse 14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart. But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart.
Read.
And shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Because the wicked of our people, they're going to miss Balenciaga. They're going to miss Amiri jeans. They're going to miss flying out these harlots from Hawaii to China. They're the ones that's going to weep. We're not going to weep. We're just going to keep Torah every day. That's it. We're going to vibe until Yahweh shall finally comes to redeem us. So we're supposed to be confident when we're seeing and pray that the Most High continually speed things up. And that we're ready when he speed things up. Hallelujah? All right, let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 8.
The book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and say unto him, When thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick.
Now, what is the 7 branch candlestick? It's called the what? See, I told you, when we go to the wilderness, the Most High is going to say, read that again.
Speak unto Aaron.
Unto who?
Unto Aaron. And say unto him, When thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick.
So the Most High is going to tell this to the Levites in the wilderness, and y'all going to say, there shall no lights go on the candlesticks.
Right.
Y'all got to know this is for you. This is talking about you. This is what you're going to have to do again. Y'all have to learn this and remember this. When we was in the wilderness, this was our university. This was the only job we had to do. The other tribes, they had things to worry about regarding war and tactics and running miles up and down and drilling. What we had to do was run the proper alignment for the menorah and putting the right oil in and lighting it up. That's it. So it's very important that we learn this because this is a part of our heritage. Read.
And Aaron did so.
So the 7 branch candlestick is the menorah. Now the menorah has a lot of different significant meanings. It represents the 7 churches. Give me Tobit 12:15. It also represents the 7 spirits that stand before the Most High God. Does anybody know some of the names of the 7 spirits? I know in the scriptures it lists 4 of them. What are some of the 7 spirits that stand before the Most High God? They're like the top 7 under Yahweh. En créole, qui nos anges qui campent devant bon Dieu. Il y a 7 anges qui campent devant bon Dieu. Michael, Gabriel. He said Michael, Michael, that's what you about to say. Michael Jean-Baptiste. So we got Michael, we got Gabriel. There's 2 in the Apocrypha that's listed. Uriel, one more. It's Raphael. There's the 4 out of the 7 that's listed in the Bible. Let's get that real quick. Tobit 12 and 15.
The book of Tobit, chapter 12, verse 15. I am Raphael.
I am who?
I am Raphael.
Raphael. Read.
One of the 7.
One of the what?
One of the 7.
He's one of the 7 of the what?
Holy angels.
Holy what?
Holy
So
angels.
the 7 spirits are the 7 angels that stand before the Most High. Read.
Which present the prayers of the saints.
So his responsibility is to set up the prayers of the Most High God. Michael, his name means who is like God. Gabriel, warrior of the Most High. Uriel, light of God. And Raphael, Yahweh's healings. So these 4 angels out of the 7 stand before the Most High God. Let's go back to Numbers, the 8th chapter.
And this work, Salakia, and Aaron did so. He lighted the lamps thereof over against the candlestick, as the Most High commanded Moses. And this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold, unto the shaft thereof, unto the flowers thereof, was beaten work, according unto the pattern which Yahweh had showed Moses. So he made the candlestick. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, take the Levites from among the children of Israel and cleanse them.
And do what?
And cleanse them.
So now, everything for the tabernacle is created. Everything is ready. Now it's for the Most High to sanctify the Levites now. Just like he sanctified Aaron and he was anointed, he went through his process. Now the tribe of Levi as a whole have to be cleansed and get ready to step into office and do their job.
Read. And thus thou shalt do unto them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them. And let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes. And so make themselves clean. Then let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil. And another young bullock shalt thou take for a sin offering. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together.
So far from what we're reading, this is why we say we can't do offerings right now, right? Are the Levites sanctified? Are they cleansed? The only thing that cleansed right now is eating greedy on pricklies right now. They're not cleansed according to what the scriptures say. Right now, as a tribe, we're unfit to do the service of the Most High the way we are right now. Give me Malachi, it's 3 and 3. Before we go back. Give me Malachi 3 and 3. This is why we say, that's why the scriptures say endure unto the end. Because there's so much things that gotta happen. All these things gotta happen to get in the wilderness. You brothers with braids and afros, you're gonna have to shave it off. You're gonna have to be cleansed. You're gonna have to put your hand on the bullock. You're gonna have to stop eating pork. You're gonna have to learn how to obey and follow instructions. Because when you look at the Levitical priesthood, it takes a lot of detail. It's a lot of detail with these instructions. And you cannot mess it up. If the Most High say the altar is made of brass and you made it of iron, guess what? You're a dead Asian, brother. Because you have to follow instructions down to the T. Read.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 3. And he shall sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver.
So the Most High is going to sit as a purifier and refiner of silver. How do you purify silver? By burning it. So that means it's going to be a tough process. Read.
And he shall purify the sons of Levi.
So who's that silver in this comparison? And who's the fire? So it's going to be a tough process. Because when the Most High says the menorah is supposed to be standing up, you're going to have the one Levite brother that have it like this. You're going to have the one brother that will put it like this. Instead, they'll put it like this. And the Most High says it's supposed to be like this. So it's going to be a tough process. Let's go right back.
The book of Numbers, chapter 8 and verse 9. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. And thou shalt bring the Levites before Yahweh, and the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before Yahweh for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of Yahweh.
So the whole purpose of this process is so they be worthy enough to do the service of the Most High God.
And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullock.
Now the Levites in return for putting their hands on this ox, so this bullock.
And thou shalt offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering unto Yahweh, to make an atonement for the Levites. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for an offering unto Yahweh. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Read. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt cleanse them and offer them for an offering. For they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb.
So originally, it was supposed to be the first of every male that come out of the womb of the children of Israel. And the Most High said, you know what? You will keep your firstborns. I'll just take the Levites and they'll do this service, this work for me. Read.
Even instead of the firstborn of the children of Israel, verse 16.
Okay.
Even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel have I taken them unto me. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron.
To who?
To Aaron.
Because who's supposed to be governing the Levites, the sons of Levi? Supposed to be Aaron and his sons. They're supposed to be like the supervisors, the management, to make sure that the Levites are doing what they're supposed to be doing in the sanctuary. Now, what are the names of the sons of Levi? Don't make me confound the Levites today. Now, how many Reubenites we have in here? Put your hands in the air. How many Benjamites? How many Levites? All right, there's a lot of Levites I gotta know, especially the men. You gotta know. See, my thought was like, God damn, confounded. So, what are the names of the sons of Levi? I know it's a lot easier than Benjamin. Benjamin had like 12 sons.
We got
Gershom. I'm telling you, the Most High gonna say, put them on order before me. Some brother gonna put it like this. I'm telling you. Sure, I'm gonna go to the children of Elam, man, before I get destroyed in the Ordinance. So what are the two names? Go through your scriptures. We just went over it in chapter, I think in Numbers chapter 3. What are the other two names? You got Gershom. What's the other two names? The Kohathites. Kohath. We got Gershom. We got Kohath. What's the last one? We got, that's the one you said, Gershon. Kohath. What's the last one? I think we gotta ask this again. We gotta do this again next week too. Got one more.
They was in charge of the curtains.
It's Merari. It's Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. What are some of the works that the Levites had to do? These families had to do. You don't gotta tell me which son did what, but just overall, what were some of the things that they were responsible over?
Like take care of the vessels.
The vessels, okay. The censer, the table, the ark, the altar of incense. So we got the vessels, we got the ark, the altar of incense. He said the curtains. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else are we forgetting? There's some things that's in there. What's in the holies of holies? What's the thing that's supposed to be carried? The Ark of the Covenant. What are the things that connect the curtains? What's supposed to cover around the tabernacle? The veil. The staves, the sockets, the couplets, the table of showbread, the menorah, the curtains and the boards that go around, the badger skin that goes on top. These are some of the things that they were in charge of. So let's continue.
The book of Numbers, chapter 8 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
When the children of Israel come nigh unto the sanctuary, and Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according unto all that the Most High commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did the children of Israel unto them.
So we see that the Levites are in charge of the materials used for the tabernacle and eventually for the temple of the Most High God. What was Aaron's and his son's charge and his descendants' charge? What was their responsibility?
For the services.
What are some of the things in the services? We went through quite a few things. One of them is doing the estimation for property, remember? Basically house inspection.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other services that sons of Aaron was responsible for?
When someone is sick or with the plague or something, they come in and check and see whether they can be around people
Would have to be quarantined. All right, what are some of the other services for Aaron's sons? What are some of the other services? One of those are obvious ones that they have to do.
to minister to the people
Minister what unto the people?
with the Torah.
The Torah, what else? It has to do with the animals, what else? They have to do what? Only they could do it.
Sacrifice.
They have to do the sacrifices. Those are some of the things that the sons of Aaron had to do. Give me Deuteronomy 18 and 5 real quick. Let's go a little bit over the sons of Aaron real quick. Deuteronomy 18 and 5.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 5. For the Most High, thy power, hath chosen him out of all the tribes to stand to minister in the name of Yahweh. Him and his sons.
Him and his who?
Him and his sons.
So the Most High chose Aaron and his sons as well, man. He chose them to stand and minister before the Most High God. Just like all the families. Aaron is a Kohathite. But out of Kohath came Aaron. Aaron, that's where the priests come from. The Most High chose him to stand and minister before him. Now, if you're a son of Merari, can you do Aaron's job?
Oh, no.
If you're a son of Gershom, can you do Aaron's job? If you're a regular Kohathite, can you do Aaron's job? Now, everybody got to play their role.
Right.
Everybody have to play their position, right? Let's get 1 Chronicles 24 and 2. Because in the kingdom to come, matter of fact, before we get that. Yeah, actually get that. Before when we get into the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be the same thing again. It's going to be the lineage of Aaron. That's going to be the priest of the Most High again. Everything will go right back to how it should have been. But the only difference is, it's not going to be anybody who descends from Aaron is going to be a priest. You're going to have to come from a specific son of Aaron to be a priest in the kingdom of heaven of the Most High. It's not going to be everybody. It's not going to be open. Oh yeah, you're a descendant of Aaron. You're one of his lost children. No, it's going to be a specific son in the kingdom of heaven. We're going to go over that real quick. Read.
The book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 24, verse 2.
Is everybody at 1 Chronicles 24 and 2? All right, go ahead.
But Nadab and Abihu.
Nadab and who?
And Abihu.
Now, who's Nadab and Abihu? Everybody should remember them in Leviticus when they were offering blue Nile instead of incense.
Priest.
They're the priests, the sons of who?
Aaron.
Right. There's some of the old, I believe they're the older sons of Aaron before they passed away. Read.
But Nadab and Abihu died before their father.
So when they died, who was left behind out of the sons of Aaron? Who was left behind? Is Eleazar and who? And Ithamar. Read.
And had no children. Therefore, Eleazar and Ithamar executed the priest's office.
So because those two sons died, it was left to Eleazar and Ithamar to execute the priest's office for their father. Read.
And David distributed them. The sons of Eleazar.
Of who?
Sons of Eleazar.
Now pay attention to that name. Zadok is going to play a very important role later on. Read.
And Ahimelech,
And who?
Ahimelech,
Read.
the sons of Ithamar,
Read.
according to their offices in their service.
So we have two lineages. Two sons come from two lineages. Zadok for Eleazar and Ahimelech for Ithamar. Both of them are the sons of Aaron. Read.
And there were no more chief men found of the sons of Eleazar than of the sons of Ithamar. And there were no more, and there were more chief men.
There were more what?
More chief men.
Now, what does chief men mean in modern day terms?
Leader.
There were more powerful brothers, more leadership brothers, more renowned, more famous brothers. Everybody know these guys. And Eleazar from Eleazar's lineage, then whose?
Then of the sons of Ithamar.
Then Ithamar's lineage. So Eleazar had more respectable men people could look up to, people could acknowledge, than Ithamar's lineage. Read.
And thus they were divided.
Thus they were what?
Divided.
They were separated. Read.
Among the sons of Eleazar, there were 16 chief men of the sons, 16 chief men of the house of their fathers.
So there was about 16 famous brothers, right? But let's see Ithamar's. Read.
And 8 among the sons of Ithamar.
So Eleazar almost has twice as much as Ithamar. So showing you that Eleazar's lineage, they must have been more obedient. They must have been more righteous, more pleasing in the eyes of the Most High. For Eleazar to outproduce Ithamar and more chief and righteous men. Read.
According to the house of their fathers. Thus they were divided by lot. One sort with another.
So stop. Let's get 1 Samuel 2 and 35. 1 Samuel 2 and 35. 1 Samuel 2 and 35. I know this is a topic we don't really go over like that, but it's something that you should keep, in your scriptures. But when you get later on in Ezekiel, you might see it. That little prophecy, the Most High prophesied about Zadok, and you may not understand what he's talking about. So at least now when you get to that book, when you get to these chapters, you'll know what the Most High is talking about and why he said what he said. Read.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 35. And I will raise me up a faithful priest.
What did the Most High say?
I will raise me up a faithful priest.
Now during this time, the Most High is speaking to Eli. Does anybody know who Eli is?
Eli is a priest.
He's a priest. Does anybody know what lineage Eli come from? You might want to take a guess. Eli descends from the sons of Ithamar. Now, what do we know about the sons of Ithamar already? And Eleazar.
That Eleazar are the two sons that left from the sons of Aaron, and Eleazar was more, you could say, more faithful or
more faithful, more righteous, more what? What did the scripture say about Eleazar's sons? He produced more what? More honorable, more chief men, the Ithamar. Now, does anybody know any backstory about Eli? If you don't, I'll just explain.
I know Eli was the prophet that raised up Samuel.
He raised up Samuel. Eli was the priest who allowed the menorah to go out. He's the priest that allowed his sons to sleep with women in the tabernacle of the Most High. He didn't say nothing.
He raised up Jeremiah.
No, he raised up Samuel. You got it right the first time. So Eli was slacking on his job, and he was the high priest. And he descended from the children of Ithamar. So we're seeing already what the Most High is talking about when we read in Chronicles. How Eleazar outproduced chief men versus Ithamar. Because he's a descendant of Ithamar. He was slacking on his job. Right? Let's read that again for me. And we're going to start from verse 27.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 35. And I will raise me up a faithful priest.
So the Most High got tired of Eli. And we're going to find out why he got tired of him. He said, I'm going to raise me up a faithful priest.
That shall do according to that which is in mine heart.
Who's going to do everything I tell him to do.
And in my mind.
And
And I will build him a sure house. And he shall walk before mine anointed forever.
And he's going to walk in front of my anointed forever. Now, how is he going to do it forever? He's not going to live forever. But his what is going to walk before his anointed forever? No, his children is going to walk before. That's how in old times they say, like, I'm going to reign forever. That's a figure of speech, meaning my lineage is going to be to rule this office forever. So the Most High said he's going to choose a priest that's going to do what he tells him to do, and he's going to walk before the anointed, or his descendants are going to walk before his anointed. Who is the anointed of the Most High? It's Yahweh Shai. This man's lineage is going to walk and serve as a priest before Yahweh Shai. Now, let's start from verse 27.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, and verse 27. And there came a man of God unto Eli.
Unto who?
Unto Eli.
Eli, descendant of Ithamar.
And said unto him,
Uh-huh.
Thus saith the Most High,
Read.
Did I plainly appear unto the house of thy father
Uh-huh.
when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house?
Read.
And did I choose him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest,
Uh-huh.
to offer upon mine altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before thee?
So he's checking Eli, read.
And did I give unto the house of thy father all the offerings made by fire of the children of Israel?
Read.
Wherefore keep ye at my sacrifice?
What did he say?
Wherefore keep ye at my
So
sacrifice?
you're taking lightly the things I gave you.
All right.
You the high priest, he's the man at that time. Everybody had to answer to Eli. Read.
And at mine offering, which I have commanded in my habitation,
Read.
and honorest thy sons above me?
Because he allowed his sons to be little whoremongers inside the tabernacle.
Right.
They didn't even take them to their house. They slept with them in the tabernacle for the Most High God. He allowed his sons to be wicked and finesse the offerings of the children of Israel. He allowed his sons to be wicked, and he knew it. He didn't do nothing about it. He was slacking on his job. Now, if everybody remember during the portion, was Aaron allowed to be sorrowful for his son's wickedness?
Nah.
Aaron had the heart of iron towards his sons. Now Eli, he was being opposite to what how Aaron was charged to when his sons was judged. Read.
And honors thy sons above me, to make yourselves fat, the chiefest of all offerings of Israel, my people. Wherefore the Most High power of Israel saith, I said indeed that thy house and the house of thy father
Your house, your family, and Ithamar, read,
should walk before me forever.
He said, y'all supposed to walk before me forever. Y'all supposed to do the priest's office in front of me all the time, read.
But now,
Now what?
saith the Most High, be it far from me.
He said, be it far from me, because guess what? You're going to get fired. Read.
For them that honor me, I will honor.
Read.
And they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed.
Read.
Behold, the days come that I will cut off thine arm, and the arm of thy father's house.
Read.
And there shall not be an old man in thine house.
Read.
And thou shalt see an enemy in my habitation.
Read.
In all the wealth which the Most High shall give Israel. And there shall not be an old man in thine house forever.
Read.
And the man of thine, whom I shall not cut off from mine altar, shall be to consume thine eyes, and to grieve thine heart.
So he said, whatever descendants that you have, they're just going to be problems. They're going to be vagabonds. That's all they're going to be. You know, has anybody read the book of David? You know, stories with David? Anybody read the stories of David? Now, does anybody remember Abiathar, the priest? There was Abiathar. That's when Zadok comes on the scene. There was two priests that was rolling with David: Zadok, Eleazar's son, and Abiathar, Ithamar's son. Captain Zion, what happened with Abiathar during the time of Solomon? I know you know this story. What happened to him when he betrayed David?
He was put away.
He was put away from the priesthood. So he was wicked as well. And he's a descendant of Ithamar. That would constantly happen with Zadok. He was the righteous. And he came from Eleazar's lineage. Read.
Verse 33. And the man of thine, whom I shall not come off from mine altar, shall be to consume thine eyes, and to grieve thine heart. And all the increase of thine house shall die in the flower of their age.
Now start down to 35, and then we're going to get the precept and come right back.
Verse 35. And I will raise me up a faithful priest that shall do according to that which is in mine heart and in my mind. And I will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before mine anointed forever.
So let's get the precept. Let's get Ezekiel 48, verse 10 to 11. We'll come right back. Cat brothers, I did give the scriptures. Please do not ask me a week from now why, the breakdown, if I know I gave you the scriptures. Ezekiel 48, verse 10 to 11.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 48 and verse 10. And for them, even the priest shall be this holy oblation. Toward the north, 5 and 20,000 in length, and toward the west, 10,000 in breadth, and toward the east, 10,000 in breadth, and toward the south, 5 and 20,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Most High shall be in the midst thereof. It shall be for the priests that were sanctified of the sons of Zadok.
Of who?
Of Zadok.
Of the sons of what?
Of Zadok.
So this is kingdom connotation, meaning this is prophecies that's going to take place in the kingdom. And in the kingdom, it's only going to be the sons of Zadok. Now, the sons of Zadok is Ahimaaz and Azariah. We only had 2 sons. So you have to come from either those 2 sons to be reckoned as a priest in the kingdom of heaven. Let's go right back to Numbers chapter 8. Like I said, brothers that's in the camp, please do not ask me this 2 weeks later if you do not write this down in your notebook, please.
The book of Numbers, chapter 8 and verse 20. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that the Most High commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified.
When they were purified,
and they washed their clothes. And Aaron offered them an offering before the Most High. And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites in to do the service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons. As the Most High had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they unto them. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, This is it that belongeth unto the Levites. From 20 and 5 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So let's stop right here. I want you to get that word wait in the Hebrew. So in verse 24 it says, This is that which belongeth unto the Levites. From 20 and 5 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. That doesn't make no sense. You're going to be at the age of 25 and wait? That don't make no sense, does it? So we're going to have to go to the Hebrew to see what the Most High is saying. Verse 24. Because at verse 25 it says, From the age of 50 years old, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more. So that don't make no sense for them to use that word wait. Wait means you wait. That don't make no sense. Let's get the Hebrew word. You see? It's Tazabah.
Tazabah. Says to go forth.
They're going to what?
Go forth.
At the age of 25, they go forth, read.
Wage war, fight, serve.
But we know that doesn't apply to the Levites during this time, read.
To wage war, fight, go forth to war, to serve, to cause to go forth, muster.
That's all the definitions, right?
Yeah.
So from the age of 25, they go forth to go minister in the tabernacle of the Most High God. Read. Go back to where you at and read.
The book of Numbers, chapter 8 and verse 24. This is it that belongeth unto the Levites. From 20 and 5 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. From the age of 50 years.
Now, what's the age of 50? What does 50 represent for a man?
Right?
At 50, your forehead bald, you shaking a little bit. You know, you probably don't remember what Colossians 3:17 is at. But what does 50 represent for us as men? That you reach the age of what? I'm afraid, man. Huh? You're at the age of an elder now. Read.
And from the age of 50 years, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof.
They have to what?
Cease waiting upon the service thereof.
That means they're going to stop going forth and being active, like how the young man is active. Read.
And shall serve no more.
That means the Most High said it's time for you to fall back. Because from the age of 25 to 50, you're supposed to be active, you're supposed to be in the trenches, you're supposed to do what you got to do. And not only that, your job is to make sure you teach the next generation that's coming up behind you to do what you do. Now, for you to neglect to do that, that means you're failing your charge and you're failing the Most High. And that's why it's our job to make sure we teach the next generation after us. That's our job. Because when we reach 50, that's when you're not as quick with the scriptures. You may not have enough energy to stand up for 8 hours, 10 hours. You may not be able to have all the time to go out and go do this. You may not be able to beat up 10 Edomites no more. But guess what? From 25 to 50, there must have been some young man, some young man with zeal to be able to train up to take your charge when you retire. At the age of 50, you should just be overseeing and giving that wisdom, because you should have accumulated years of experience and wisdom to share with the next generation. That's not how to do that. I went through that. If you go through this route, this is what's going to happen. Do it this way. That's your job at the age of 50, to oversee, teach, and guide, and let the young men do what they have to do. Read.
But shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation.
So they're going to fall back and do administration work.
Right.
You know, the trench work, that's for the young men.
Right.
They can go beat up people at camp if they have to. But you stay back at headquarters, and you oversee. You say, not me. Well, aren't you 43, right? We're going to have to retire you at 50. You're going to stay at the crib. Read.
To keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus shalt thou do unto the Levites touching their charge.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season, in the 14th day of this month, and even you should keep it in his appointed season. According to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof, shall ye keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and they should keep the Passover, that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai. According to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel.
So let's get a reminder of why we keep the Passover. Let me get Exodus chapter 12, verse 26. It's always good to remind ourselves why we keep these high holy days. We don't want it to become something that it's just, it's just Passover. Let me just keep it so that I'm not found, in sin. Understand why we keep these high holy days, because the Most High is giving us our culture back when we do these things. To keep the Passover is not a light thing, man. Because in the world, you're keeping Christmas, you're keeping Thanksgiving, you're keeping all of these things that truly, right, is idolatry. The Most High calling you back, and you're keeping a celebration in which He gave you. So it's good to understand why is it that you're doing it. Because our children are going to have questions, man. Just like the captain said, we have to build up the younger generation to come, to do a better job than us. So while we 20 and 30 just finding out the meaning of what the Passover is, howbeit the 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds already know why He's doing it, man. All right? So that by the time they're 20 and 30, the type of Passovers they're going to be keeping, we might be a little envious about it, man. All right? They're going to have the whole roasted lamb, all type of stuff, man. All right? Some even bitter herbs, a little bit probably stronger wine. Because at the end of the day, the Most High gets the glory, man. Read that for me, Cap.
The book of Exodus,
chapter 12,
in verse 26.
And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service?
That ye shall say,
it is the sacrifice of Yahweh's Passover. Who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt. When He smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses.
He did what?
And delivered our houses.
Read.
And the people bowed their head and worshipped. And the children of Israel went away and did as Yahweh commanded Moses and Aaron. So did they. Come.
So it's to bring into remembrance when the Most High delivered us from our enemies, man. Right? And what is the word that sums up that act that the Most High did? When the Most High delivers us from our enemies, what is that called?
Salvation.
That's called salvation, man. Right? Our first taste of freedom, man. Being under the guidance and the protection of the Most High. Learning His ways. Learning how to be the children of Israel. How to be the holy, separate, chosen, peculiar people, man. So every time we keep the Passover, that's what we have to remind ourselves of, man. That taste of salvation. Because sometimes our people don't know that they're in a prison. They don't know that they locked up. They don't know that they're subjugated, serving their enemies. Because America says it's a melting pot, right? It's the land of opportunity. Be whatever you want to be, where everybody's equal. right? Putting our people to sleep as a lullaby, man. Our people don't understand we got a land flowing with milk and honey that's awaiting our return. All right? Where you collect the taxes, where people pay tribute to us, where your children are saved, man. Where we control what's taught in the education system. Where we control what type of food is being in the supermarkets. That's what we need to look forward to, man. Let's go back.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 5.
Read.
And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month, at even in the wilderness of Sinai.
Right.
According to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man,
right,
that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and Aaron on that day.
Right.
And those men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead body of a man.
Right.
Wherefore are we kept back, and we may not offer an offering of Yahweh in his appointed season among the children of Israel.
Right.
And Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what Yahweh will command concerning you.
So the brothers didn't take the coward way out and just say, oh, I'm defiled, I'm not going to the Passover. Right? They inquired to Moses, hey, listen, we got defiled by, a dead body. We know we can't come to the holy convocation as such. What is it that we can do? Because we don't want to not send up the sacrifices of the Passover unto the Most High. So, what it is. And then Moses is going to inquire of the Lord. Let's see what the Most High say. Read.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off,
right,
yet he should keep the Passover unto Yahweh.
Unto what?
Unto Yahweh.
Now, it says, if you be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off. Now, we know that there's other ways to become unclean, correct? But those would be things that you yourself would have had to do to make yourself unclean, right? So you cannot call the argument and say, got drunk a little wine last night, me and wifey such and such and such, I'm unclean, I can't come to the Passover. You going off, right? That's a sin. That's not a reason for you to miss the Passover, right? You should have been prudent enough to know, Passover's tomorrow, let me chill. But coming in contact with a dead body, especially in this time, you never know when that can happen, right? Even if you walk into a house where somebody died. So the Most High say, unless you come into contact with a dead body, right? And if we know for our women, if you're unclean, right, due to your menstrual cycle, or if you are in a journey afar off, those are the only reasons why you would be missing the Passover. Read.
The 14th day of the second month at even,
right,
they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs.
Right. So see, the Most High didn't compromise, right? That you can just it's an understandable, or it wasn't your fault. The Most High gave you another time to keep the Passover. So you should even be prudent and say, man, listen, you know what? Let me stay away from anything that could make me unclean. Because I don't know, I might pass by a dead body, I might do this, I might do that. So the Most High gave us a mercy to say, you know what? You can keep the Passover in the second month on the 14th day. If for these two reasons alone, you are defiled. Read.
Verse 12. They shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor break any bone of it.
Right.
According to all the ordinance of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man that is clean.
The man that is what?
That is clean.
Read.
And is not in a journey, and forbeareth to keep the Passover.
So this is you just say, you know what? It's the finals tonight. Passover. That's all good and all, but I got front row tickets, right, to the game. That girl who I really wanted to see. She finally hit me up, say she's free, right? But if I don't see it tonight, she's gonna be busy for the next 2 weeks. You got all of these things that in your mind is creeping, but yet the Passover is tonight, man. So the Most High say, if you forbear to keep the Passover, you don't have no good reason to be missing. Read.
Even the same soul should be cut off from among his people.
You should be put to death, man. Think about that. If you willingly not come to the Passover, observe the Passover, you should be put to death for that, man. To show you the importance and the reverence of the Most High holy days. Now, what would cause a person to do that? Give me Job chapter 21, verse 15. What type of mindset would a person have to have for them to say, I'm not going to keep the Passover, knowing that it's a memorial to our salvation from our enemies. That's a slap in the face to anybody, man. That's a slap in the face. Think about that. You're supposed to be celebrating and be joyous on the day for you to remember what it felt like to come from up under the hand of the Egyptians, and you decide, you know what, something else is more important than that. Read that.
The book of Job, chapter 21, verse 15. What is the Almighty that we should serve him?
What did he say?
What is the Almighty that we should serve him?
Right? This is some of our people's mindset. Who is the Most High that we shall serve him? Who is the Most High to tell me that just because he took me up out of Egypt on the 14th day of the first month, I gotta observe the Passover? Read.
And what profit shall we have if we pray unto him?
And what?
And what profit shall we have if we pray unto him?
And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Essentially, yeah, I know the Most High wakes me up every day. Yeah, I know, when I pray to him, he delivered me out of situations. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's what he's supposed to do, right? You ever did something for somebody and they turn around and tell you, well, I never asked you to do it, right? Well, if you didn't want to do it, you didn't have to do it. But yet, in that time, they was begging it, man. Because the Most High, what were we doing in Egypt that the Most High came and got us? We was crying out, right? The Most High heard our cries. It was tough. It was tough. The same way, when you was in the world and all these things was happening to you, you asked the Most High for deliverance, man. And then he brought you into the truth. But now the things that come with being in the truth, you despise. You don't want to do it no more. You forget about what used to happen back then. Right? So understanding that the Most High is letting us know, man, listen, if you don't want to take joy and joyfulness and gladness in serving me, what did Deuteronomy 28 and 40, verse 47 say? Right? That he's going to make us serve our enemies. Now we crying about being under the white man. Well, what you want? You want to be under the Most High? You want to be under the what you want? Because it seems as if the children of Israel, they're not pleased with any situation. Right? Leave the children of Israel up by themselves, then guess what's going to happen? We're just going to turn around and oppress each other. Right? So we feel oppressed under the Most High, we feel oppressed under the enemy, and if we left to our lonesome, we oppress each other. That's why we have to look unto the Most High for guidance, man. Because by ourselves, we can't do it. That's why the Most High commands reverence and respect, man, unto him. Because only with that mindset will the children of Israel ever be able to have nationhood. Let's go back to Numbers. Verse 14.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 14.
All right.
If a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto Yahweh,
right,
according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall ye do. Ye shall have one ordinance both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land.
And in this stranger, there's just speaking that an Israelite that was probably, who sojourned in another land, born in another land. Nonetheless, he is of the seed of Jacob. Can you read it?
And on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, on the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely, the tent of the testimony, and at even there was upon the tabernacle as if it were the appearance of fire until the morning.
All right.
So it was always the cloud covered it by day and the appearance of fire by night. So when you see fire, it's not literally fire, it's talking about light.
All right.
Because during that time, there was no electricity and no lights. So they give you the best comparison they could give you, which is lights, shining lights, or LED lights, or whatever type of lights is on that chariot.
Right.
And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud abode, there the children of Israel pitched their tents.
Right. So only when the Most High moved, that's when the children of Israel moved. The Most High part, the children of Israel part. Give me Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. That's how we should move today, man. If the Most High does not command you to do something, don't do it. The Most High commands you to do something, then do it. Because when we acknowledge the Most High ways, he'll direct our paths. Right? Everybody want to stay on that straight and narrow. Because we know that that gate that leads to destruction, that thing is wide, man. It could fit a lot of people on there. But that gate that leads to life, man, and prosperity, that thing is narrow. So you really got to walk straight. If you want a narrow path, you got to walk straight. You don't got too much room to waver. Go to the right hand or go to the left hand. Right? You have to stay on that straight and narrow path. The only way to do that is to acknowledge the Most High. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart.
Right.
And lean not into thine own understanding.
Read.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
In the what?
In all thy ways acknowledge him. And he shall direct thy path.
Right.
Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil.
Right. That's how we should have to go about it, man. Don't be wise in your own eyes, thinking that it's gonna work out this way. We thought that we could do without the Most High. How did that turn out for us? Right. Solomon thought that he could build up altars to his strange wise God, and everything was gonna be cool. Right. And this was the wisest man. But guess what? Once he neglected the wisdom of the Most High and tried to be wise in his own eyes, everything came crashing down. Right? But before then, he was chilling. He was good, man. He was at the top. As soon as he started going into his own mind, thinking that things was a good idea, and he knew not to go against the Most High, but he did it anyway. That's being wise in your own eyes. Give me Colossians chapter 3, verse 15. Colossians chapter 3, verse 15. So just seeing that when we move, it has to be because the Most High is telling us to move. Right? Now, are you supposed to sit there and seem like as if you're helpless? Right? That you can't take any type of action? Of course not. But the action that you take, let it be with counsel, man. Let it be with prudence. Let it be with wisdom. Read.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 15. Read. And let the peace of Yahweh rule in your hearts.
Let the what?
Let the peace of Yahweh rule in your hearts.
It says, let the peace of Yahweh rule in your hearts. Now, what peace is this speaking about? Give me Romans 8, verse 5, and Romans chapter 8, verse 5. Right? Let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts, man. Because sometimes it's a burden when you have to figure everything out, come. It's a burden. You got to try to figure out every little detail of how this thing is going to go down. Why not just let the peace of the Most High reign in your heart? Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Right.
But they that are after the spirit.
They that are after the what?
The spirit.
Read.
The things of the spirit.
Keep reading.
For to be carnally minded is death. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Is to be what?
Life and peace.
So that's how you let the peace of the Most High reign in your heart. Be spiritually minded. And we know, according to Romans chapter 7, verse 14, right? The law is spiritual. Right? They're going to break down right there. If you want to have peace in your life, keep your mind on spiritual things, man. That way you don't have to worry about how everything is going to turn out. Because your best bet for you to be confident in what you're doing is say, well, the Most High commanded me to do it. All right? So, I mean, how bad could this thing really turn out? And I know if anything doesn't go my way while I'm doing this, it's just a test of my faith. That way you don't have to worry. But when you go against the Most High, you have to worry. Is the Most High going to strike me down for this? How long is the Most High going to keep me chastised? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? Right? But when you went under the commandments of the Most High, man, you ain't got nothing to fear. Let me go about the numbers. Verse 18.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 18.
Read.
At the commandment of Yahweh, the children of Israel journeyed. And at the commandment of Yahweh, they pitched.
Right.
As long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in their tents. And when the cloud tarried long upon the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept the charge of Yahweh and journeyed not.
Right.
And so it was when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of Yahweh, they abode in their tents.
Right.
And according to the commandment of Yahweh, they journeyed. And so it was when the cloud abode from even unto the morning, that the cloud was taken up in the morning. And they journeyed, whether it was by day or by night, that the cloud was taken up. They journeyed.
Right. So anytime the Most High say move, you gotta move. Read.
Or whether it were 2 days or a month or a year that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining there on the children of Israel abode in their tents, and journeyed not. But when it was taken up, they journeyed.
And even if the Most High say, listen, man, you got to sit down for a year, you got to be patient for a year, you got to be patient for a year, a month, a day, however long he say. Read.
At the commandment of Yahweh, they rested in the tents. And at the commandment of Yahweh, they journeyed.
Right.
They kept the charge of Yahweh at the commandment of Yahweh by the hand of Moses.
The book of Numbers, chapter 10 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly.
Calling the what?
The assembly.
So these 2 trumpets are going to be used to let the people know when it's time to come together.
Right.
Or to alert them with certain things. Think of it as an alarm clock. You set your alarms for waking up for work, or to do an assignment at home, or when it's time for you to go somewhere or go back to doing your task. Read.
And if they blow, Salakia, and when they blow, let me finish verse 2, Salakia. Make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly, and for the journeying of the camps. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Read.
And if they blow, but with 1 trumpet,
Or with what?
1 trumpet,
1 trumpet, read.
Then the princes, which are the heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves unto thee.
So if it's only 1 trumpet being blown, that means the princes, whoever's in charge, maybe it could be the captains of the armies, they'll have to appear before the door of the tabernacle. Something sensitive information.
Right. And if they blow, Salakia, verse 5, when ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward.
All right. So those 3 tribes, those armies will go forward on the east side, read.
And when ye, Salakia, verse 6, when ye blow an alarm the 2nd time, then the camps that lie on the south shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys.
Right. So they'll let the other 3 tribes on the south know when it's time to go, read.
But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generation.
So it'll be the sons of Aaron, of the sons of Levi, that will be blowing this trumpet. Read.
And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Most High your power, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. Also, in the day of your gladness, of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months.
So in our days of gladness, our solemn days in the beginning of months. So what are these an example of the day of our gladnesses? What's some examples of that? Let's do it this way. What are some of our solemn days that we'll blow the trumpet for? Let's get Leviticus 23. Start from verse 1.
The book of Leviticus chapter 23. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast,
concerning the what?
The feast of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be a holy convocation.
A holy what?
A holy convocation.
So these horns, when they're both being blown, they let the congregation know when it's time for what? To assemble. So when those solemn days is talking about is the feast days in Leviticus 23.
That's right.
That's what it's referring to.
That's right.
Now the days of gladness, that would be an example like Purim, or Feast of Dedication, or Nicanor, Day of Simon, those memorial days. Now it says the beginning of months. What's the beginning of months? It'll be the new moon, because the new moon is the beginning of a new month. Let's go right back.
Come on. The book of Numbers chapter 10 and verse 10. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months.
In the beginning of the months, you'll blow it through the new moon.
Ye shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifice of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your power. I am the Most High, your power.
So the Most High didn't give us a deep breakdown on why he's telling us to do this. Why he told us silver instead of gold, or bronze instead of silver. He says, because I said so. Right. That's why you're going to do it. Read.
Verse 11. And it came to pass on the 20th day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year, that the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle of the testimony.
Read.
And the children of Israel took their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran. And they first took their journey according to the commandment of the Most High by the hand of Moses. In the first place went the standard of the camp of the children of Judah according to their armies. And over his host was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab, the son of Helon. And the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari set forward, bearing the tabernacle. And the standard of the camp of Reuben set forward according to their armies, and over his host was Elizur, the son of Shedor. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Simeon was Shemuel, the son of Zerubbabel.
So when it's saying over the host, what is that talking about? Who are these brothers is listing? What role do they play? What's a host? It's an army. So these brothers have to be the what over the army? That's right. They'll be the captains or the generals over that army.
Read. And the standard of the so like verse 20. And the host of the tribe of the children of Gad was Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. And the Kohathites set forward, bearing the sanctuary, and the other did set up the tabernacle against they came. And the standard of the camp of the children of Ephraim set forward according to their armies, and over his host was Elishama, the son of Amihud. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abidan, the son of Gideoni. And the standard of the camp of the children of Dan set forward, which was the reward of all the camps throughout their hosts. And over his host was Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel, the son of Amram. And over the host of the tribe of Naphtali was Ahirah, the son of Enan. Thus were the journeys of the children of Israel according to their armies when they set forward. And Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Raguel the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying unto the place which the Most High said, I will give it you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good. For the Most High had spoken good concerning Israel.
So Moses is telling his relative, right? I believe his wife's his father-in-law, saying, why don't you just come with us? You know, everything will be good. The Most High gives us his land. You should be a part of what we got going on.
Read. Verse 30. And he said unto them, I will not go.
What did he say?
I will not go. But I will depart to mine own land and to my kindred. And he said, leave us not, I pray thee, for as much as thou knowest how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and thou mayest be unto us instead of eyes. And it shall be, if thou go with us, yea, it shall be what goodness the Most High shall do unto us, the same will we do unto thee. And they departed from the mount of the Most High 3 days' journey. And the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in the 3 days' journey to search out a resting place for them. And the cloud of the Most High was upon them by day, and they went out of the camp. And it came to pass when the ark set forward that Moses said, rise up, Yahweh, and let thine enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before thee. And when it rested, he said, return, O Yahweh, unto many thousands of Israel.
Read. The book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse 1.
Read.
And when the people complained, they displeased Yahweh.
Right.
And Yahweh heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yahweh burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses. And when Moses prayed unto Yahweh, the fire was quenched.
Right.
And when he called the name of that place Ta-Birah, because the fire of Yahweh burnt among them.
So we murmuring, right? The Most High is leading us by day, he's leading us by night, right? Anytime we ask for water, right? We ask for safety. The Most High provided it for us, but yet we found something to complain about, and the Most High got hot, right? His anger was kindled. He chastised the children of Israel. As soon as they get the chastisement, they start crying out because they're getting chastised. Moses has to intercede on our behalf, and the Most High fire was quenched. But why do we have to go through all of that in the first place, right? Why can't we just be obedient? Why can't we be content with what the Most High is giving us? Read.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting.
Fell a what?
Fell a-lusting.
Right, so there was something that they had a strong desire for at this point, right? Because remember, there's still some Egyptians amongst us, right? They probably whispering, it's a little bit better back where we was at, you know what I mean? You should come back with us, because more than likely these were probably, the lower class of the Egyptians, probably even slaves. They were like, I'm gonna just go with them. I'm a slave here anyway. I'm Egyptian, but I'm a slave here too. So I'm gonna get up out of here. But now they thinking about the times back in Egypt. Read.
Verse 5. Verse 4. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
So now they crying again, murmuring, just like little children weeping. Who's going to give us flesh to eat? Read.
We remember the flesh which we did eat in Egypt freely. The cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic.
Right.
But now our soil is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes.
So they despising what the Most High provided. They said, listen, we had this curry goat, right? We had the flesh pots. Everything was fire. Hey, we were slaving, but when we got off, I ate good. Now here I am free, but all I got is this manna, right? What am I going to do with this manna? That's the same way how when people come from out of the world, they say, now all I got is Shabbat lessons, Kwam Yasharala, and Salakia, right? This is all I got to look forward to. I used to be in the world, right? I used to have my chains on, 4 or 5 women during the week. I could drink till I was drunk out of my mind. I could sit and smoke all day, stimulus check. But now I got to put in the work. Now I got to do all of these things, man. And our people feel as if what the Most High gave unto them, calling them out of this world, taking them from a life of bondage, isn't good enough for them. Give me Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1 and verse 3. It's a shame to have that mindset. But what do we see? We read it in the book of Numbers. Our forefathers, the same thing, man. Right? Freedom wasn't enough. Think about that. Freedom wasn't enough. They was worried about that food, man. And that go to show you, man, that's how you get Israel to come to a high holy day. You got to mention the food, right? Don't tell them about nothing about New Moon and say it's going to be food there. And they're going to come.
We're gonna pop bottles.
Right? We're going to pop bottles. Tell them about Passover. Yo, it'll be some good lamb. Right? It's gonna be some. Don't even tell them about the bitter herb. Just tell them about the good lamb. They gonna come. Yo, boy, I ain't gonna lie. I got invited to this place. The best lamb in town. They gonna come, man. Because that's how strongly our people was willing to go back into slavery for some food. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse 1 to 2. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh,
right,
that take counsel, but not of me,
right,
and that cover a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Read.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
That do what?
That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth,
right,
to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Read.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Right? So basically what it's saying is that if you want to trust in America, right, which is spiritual Egypt, it's going to be a shame unto you. You're going to be confused. Because if you want to go back into the world, you're trusting in America. That's basically what it is. It's saying, I want to be a part of this system. Right? I want to give my life to the red, white, and blue instead of the nation of Israel. I would rather do wickedly and be comfortable than to put on the full armor of God and to help my nation. That's the type of mindset that our people having right now. They complaining unto the Most High because He requires discipline and obedience from them. They want to be back to where, you know what? Yeah, I might have a hard taskmaster over me, but once I get off that job, I can do whatever I want. So some of our people don't care about slaving for the slave master. Because when they get off, they can go and do whatever they want. They're free. Right? There's no moral code that they have to follow. But when you under the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, it don't matter if you at Shabbat, you at your house, you at the grocery store, you at the mall. A brother catch you out there doing wrong, you're going to get rebuked, man. Right? You're going to get rebuked. So yeah, all you got is law, statutes, and commandments now. You don't need nothing else. Because everything else was folly. Everything else is what caused you to be a burden unto yourself and to anger and kindle the fire of the Most High. Let's go back to Numbers.
The book of Numbers, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Right.
And the manna has coriander seed, and the color thereof is the color of beldium.
Right.
And the people went about and gathered it and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil.
All right, so it's kind of like wafers. Read.
And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it.
All right.
Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased.
Right, so even Moses can't even take it. Right, read. Now watch out. Watch how Moses did. Now remember, this is the meekest man on the face of the earth, right? Cool, calm, and collected Moses. But let's see how Moses get, man. Read.
And Moses said unto Yahweh, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant?
Moses is asking the Most High, why me? Why you afflicting me with having to deal with these people? Read.
And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me?
He's like, listen, I did everything you asked me to do, right? When you go in and told me to let these people go, if Moses would have known this, he would say, hey, Pharaoh, keep these people here, but I'm about to slide, right? Because they about to be a burden unto me, man, right? Moses thought everything was going to be good, right? This is Yahweh's people. Surely they're not going to act like this. Read.
Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them that thou shouldest say unto me, carry them in thy bosom?
Right.
Has a nursing father beareth a suckling child unto the land which thou swearest unto their fathers?
Moses is like, are these all my children? Why is it that I have to take care of all of them? They can't think for themselves, right? They can't move by themselves, right? Do I have to carry them? I gotta hold them by the hand for every single thing? Why do I have to be responsible for these people? Right? Just like Adam said to the Most High, he's like, this is the wife you gave me. Right? It don't matter. You still got to do your job. Whatever commandment I give, you still got to do it, man. Read.
Whence should I have flesh to give unto all these people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh that we may eat. I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me.
Right.
And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee.
Right.
Out of hand. If I have found favor in thy sight, let me not see my righteousness.
Right. So he's saying, listen, just take me out, Most High, because I don't want to see myself get to such a low place where every single part of hair is just falling out of my head, man. I just can't take it no more. I'm just weak. My mental health is just famished. I don't want to see myself get to that point. So just take me out now. That's how much of a burden we was being with Moses. Now, when we examine this, what should the people have done? The people should have beseeched the Most High, right? In a sincere manner, for some flesh. And Moses, instead of thinking that he was the one who had to fix it, he should have beseeched the Most High for help to give the people what they were asking for. So both the people and Moses went about it with the wrong attitude. Now let's see how the Most High responds. Read.
16. And Yahweh said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation. Now, just a quick quiz to make sure everybody's paying attention. What's the indicator for these men to come to the tabernacle, toward the tabernacle? Okay. How many times does the horn have to be blown? Once. Okay, fine. Now who got to blow the horn?
I was in here for that.
No, you was there. Who got to blow the horn? Manasseh, Dan, Judah.
Judah?
No. You warm. Can Gershom blow the horn and tell these men to come by the door of the tabernacle? Who's supposed to blow the horn? The silver horn. The silver trumpet. He's warned, he said Levi, but he's warned.
The 12 princes?
Nope.
I almost forgot his name. I think it was Aaron.
The what?
Aaron or...
You warm, you warmer.
Oh, so the direction.
It's the sons of Aaron, the priests. They're supposed to blow the silver trumpets,
right,
to let these princes know when to come. One time. And bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee.
So the Most High said, gather unto me, right, 70 elders, 70 men, elders, right, that he knows to be elders of the people. Not just listen, we done went to camp plenty of times, and we seen elders out there just drunk out of their mind, acting as if they 22 years old on the block. These are not the men Moses is supposed to bring. Right? That's not being back pants below their waist. He said known to be elders. Because what were the elders supposed to be doing once they give up, once they done with the charge of the tabernacle and things of that? They're supposed to be ministering to the people. You can't be ministering to the people you drunken at 10 o'clock. So these are men who are really about the business, right? Who are really still about the Most High, even in their old age. Read.
And I will come down and talk with thee then. And I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and put it upon them.
Right.
And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, and thou bear it not thyself alone.
Right. The Most High said, I'm gonna take the spirit which is upon you and put it on them. Now these were men, right, who did the work of the Most High, still ministering unto the word of the Most High. But that goes to show you that there's certain spirits that the Most High can put upon separate people, right, for them to be able to do a certain job. The Most High put a spirit upon Paul for him to say, you know what, I'm not going to have a family, and I'm going to just continue to do this work. It's that the Most High's timing when he decides to put a certain spirit upon you, for you to be able to bear a certain burden. Let me get Sirach chapter 39, verse 1 to 6. Let's just read that account real quick. Because a lot of times, we come into the truth, and we want to be a captain of 50 in 6 months. Listen, the Most High not going to give you a spirit of a captain of 50 just yet, or a captain of 100, or a captain of 1,000, or a chief, or a minister. You got to put in the work, right? You got to put in the work. And when it's your time, you'll receive it. Read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High,
right,
and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies.
Right, so this is speaking about somebody who's just constantly in the scriptures, who's constantly meditating on the word of the Most High God. Read.
And he will keep the sayings of the renowned men. And where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
Right, so he'll remember when Solomon said, folding up the hands, little sleep here, the poverty gonna come upon you. Right? He's gonna remember the proverbs that talk about dealing with an adulterous woman, right? Being a sluggard. You're gonna remember those things. Read.
And he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences, and be conversant in dark parables.
Read.
And he shall serve among great men, and appear before princes.
Right.
And he will travel through strange countries, but he had tried good and evil among men.
Right.
He will give his heart to resort early to the Yahweh that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer,
right,
and make supplication for his sins.
So he's going to be a sincere man. Read.
When the great Yahweh will,
when he do what?
When the great Yahweh will,
right, when it's the Most High's will, when it's in his time, and read,
he should be filled with the spirit of understanding. He should pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto Yahweh in his prayer.
Right. So even though he's meditating on all these things, he's dealing with the scriptures, he's reading all these things. When the Most High sees it fit, then he'll be able to utter these things. Right? He'll be able to fully understand these sentences. But you first have to be occupied in it first. So these elders were men who were occupied in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. And the Most High put the spirit upon them to now be able to carry the burden of the people, man. Because this is a bigger job. Right? This is what Moses has been dealing with this whole time. And it's a stressful thing. So now, just like you said, when you get raised up in command, guess what? What comes with that? More responsibility. So if you don't have the spirit to deal with it, man, you might run away and say, yo, I can't deal with these brothers, man. right? You were so eager to become a captain of 1,000, but now you got 20 brothers under you, and it's too unbearable because you didn't know how to manage 5, 10, 15, right? Your spirit wasn't being built up with dealing with that first. So seeing that the Most High see that these men were truly men, truly elders of the people, the Most High gave them that spirit to now deal with a bigger responsibility, man. All right? And that's how we should all see about it. Wait for your time. Continue to be in the Most High. Because when you get that bigger responsibility, the Most High has to give you that spirit in order for you to bear that burden. Let's go back to Numbers.
The book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse 18. And say down to the people, right? Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh.
Right.
For ye have wept in the ears of Yahweh, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat?
Right.
For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore Yahweh will give you flesh, and ye shall eat. You shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out of your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you. Because that ye have despised Yahweh, which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt?
Right? So the Most High said, you know what? I'm going to give y'all so much flesh to eat. Y'all gonna hate it. Right? Y'all not going to want it no more. Y'all going to be asking back for the manna. The thing that y'all found so loathsome. Right? So the Most High said, you know what? I'm going to give y'all what y'all want. Because at the end of the day, it's still not going to satisfy y'all. Right? You still not going to be satisfied. You think that's what you wanted. All right? You was willing to return back to slavery for this. But eventually, when you would have went back to Egypt and been eating that flesh for a month, it was going to become loathsome for you. Now, the reason you put yourself back into slavery, it don't even mean nothing no more. But you still got to deal with the burdens, right? The Most High is showing us our pride to our face at this moment. Read.
Verse 21. And Moses said, the people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen.
Right.
And thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them, to suffice them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them? And Yahweh said unto Moses, Is Yahweh's hand waxed short? That thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not?
So Moses is questioning the Most High. Yo, it's a lot of people over here. You know, so what you gonna do? They gotta slaughter their flocks. Remember now, this is how we make our living, right? We shepherds. We need our flocks. Can't just be killing them off just to eat. So Moses is asking, well, how you gonna pull this off, Yahweh? The Most High had to answer, like, listen, is my hand waxed short? Can I not pull this off? And he told Moses, listen, I'm gonna show you, so you don't never have to question me again, man. All these examples that we have in the scriptures, we should not be questioning the Most High, how he's gonna gather us back together, how he's gonna redeem us, how he's going to pour his spirit out unto us. We should just do what he says and then everything fall in place, because the Most High is dealing with infinite wisdom. We're dealing with what's contained in these scriptures. So we're trying to put pieces together, but guess what? The Most High didn't reveal everything unto us. So we should just trust that his plan is how we go about it. The same way how you turn your taxes over to the tax man, or trust those questions that you do yourself on TurboTax. Guess what? You think that at the end of the day, you're going to get your refund, man. Turn your life over to the Most High, let him handle it, and just do what he said. And in the end result, we know that these things that he said is going to come to pass, which ultimately is us being back in our own land, living in peace and prosperity. Let him handle the rest of that, man. Read.
The book of Numbers, chapter 11, and verse 24. And Moses went out and told the people the words of Yahweh, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle. And Yahweh came down in a cloud, and the other one came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the spirit that was upon him, and gave it to the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other was Medad. And the spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp. And there ran a young man unto Moses, and said, Eldad and Medad do prophesy in the camp. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, Adjourn, Moses, forbid them. And Moses said unto him, enviest thou for my sake?
Right.
Would Yahweh that all the Yahweh's people were prophets, and that and Yahweh would put his spirit upon them? And Moses got him into the camp, he and the elders of Israel.
Right. So Joshua had seen this as a problem. He's like, he wasn't one of the 70 elders that went up and got the spirit, but y'all over here prophesying. Right? And Moses said, listen, that's not an issue. Right? Because guess what? They're prophesying with what? The same spirit. We're speaking the same things. That's not an issue. And that's how we have to see the same thing, man. Regardless of what camp or wherever you in, if you teaching that we got to keep the laws of the Most High and the faith in Yahweh Shai, that's it. That's it. Everything else will be ironed out when we get into the wilderness. If you teaching Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that's it. Shouldn't be no strife. Right? Regardless of what color your camp is, whatever it is, shouldn't be no strife. Right? Of course, brothers are gonna bring forth their strong reasoning and debate amongst other things, but after that, it's dead. Because everything is gonna get fixed up when we go into that wilderness. Let the Most High be the chief running this thing. Because just like Moses, nobody can bear the burden of the children of Israel by themselves. Nobody. Read. Oh, Slav. Oh yeah, read. Verse 31.
Verse 31. And there went forth a wind from Yahweh, and
right,
and let them fall by the camp as it were a day's journey. On this side, as if it were a day's journey, and on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth.
Right.
And the people stood up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp.
Right.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, it was chewed, the wrath of Yahweh was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. So while they was eating it, the Most High was like, yo, did I really just give these niggas meat?
Right.
No homo?
Right.
And they were complaining and they hated my words.
Right.
And the Most High sent like a disease through the quails. And whilst the flesh was yet between their teeth, it was chewed. And the wrath of Yahweh was kindled against the people, and Yahweh smote the people with a very great plague.
Right.
And he called the name of that place Kibroth Ha-Tatava, because there they buried the people that lusted.
Right.
And the people journeyed. Right here.
35.
No, 1 second. Because if we look at verse number 4, it tells us who went lusting.
Come.
That's why I'm reading again just to remember. So it's actually the heathens that went lusting in verse 4. They're the ones who perished in verse 34. So from this point on, there's no more mixed multitude amongst us. It's just only the Israelites. I just had to remember.
Yeah, so that's a great point. Because I was looking at it too there in verse 34.
Verse 35. And the people journeyed from Kibroth Ha-Ta'ava, and from Ha-Zeroth, and abode in Ha-Zeroth. Chapter 12. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman he had married.
Right.
And he had married an Ethiopian woman.
Right. So was Moses right or wrong for marrying this Ethiopian woman? Okay. Was Moses right or wrong for marrying this Ethiopian woman?
I would say he was, at the time, he probably was right, because the Most High had not given the command not to marry other nations.
All right, Matato?
No, you're right. It was not written. It was not written yet.
Remember now, although we read it in Deuteronomy, Moses already received the commandments up on the mount. So it was already given. Even though we might read it in Deuteronomy, So don't be thinking just because this is in Numbers and it's in Deuteronomy that the commandment hasn't been given. Moses already went up to the mount and received the commandments of the Most High. So no, he shouldn't have taken that Ethiopian woman, right? That's why Aaron and Moses is speaking about against him, because what kind of fault would they have said to him? Is that just something that they felt he did wrong? They would have had to bring some type of fault to him. You get what I'm trying to say? So yes, he wasn't right for marrying that Ethiopian woman. So now let's see how this issue was dealt with. Read.
Verse 2. And they said, have Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses?
Right.
Have he not spoken also by us? And Yahweh heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
Right.
And Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam.
Right.
Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out.
Right.
And the outer one came down in a pillar of the cloud. So just to give everybody an illustration, like when you see the beams and the aliens are coming down from that light, the pillar of light, that's Yahweh Shai, because we know Yahweh Shai is who Moses is really dealing with. It's coming down from this light into the tabernacle. And Yahweh came, and the outer one came down in the pillar of the cloud. It stood in the door of the tabernacle.
Right.
And called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words.
Right.
If there be a prophet among you, I, the outer one, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream.
Right.
My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth,
right?
Even apparently, and not in dark speeches,
right?
And the similitude of Yahweh shall he behold,
right?
Wherefore, then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
Right, that was their fault now. They coming at Moses because they like, oh, you think you the only one got authority here? You think we can't say nothing? But the Most High is checking them, right? Moses has been faithful to me, man. Moses have done everything that I asked him to do, right? So now Moses, right, unrightfully marries this Ethiopian woman, but that did nonetheless to take that what he's been saying and what he's been prophesying has been false, right? Because they don't like to say that. Say for instance, our brother, we go out, we at a camp spot, and we say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But let's say your brother falls short, right? And the brother does do it. Does that make none and void all the commandments that we've been bringing out? No. Everything is still the same. Even though a brother might have fell short on the one that he himself has said. So now, going against what they say, what they're basically trying to say is that all that stuff you've been talking is whatever. But it's the words of the Most High God. So you're really saying what the Most High has been saying is whatever. The Most High said, listen, that's not going to be so, man. Because what my prophets speak, that's true. Although they might fall at something, what they say is true. Because they're my words that they're speaking. Read.
And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them. And the anger of the other one was kindled against them.
Right.
And he departed.
Read.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
Right.
And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
Right.
Now, when you look at, why the Most High, because he didn't say Aaron was leprous.
Right.
Even though both of them was in the wrong, Miriam was double in the wrong. Why? Does anybody know why, or take a guess why Miriam was double wrong? Why is that? We say it all the time with our women when we go out and teach.
They should be Samai and especially coming against the.
That's right. She had no place or right to even be talking to Moses. Right. You understand, on that type of pride, because the Most High deal with men on a completely different level when he deal with our women. So she was in no place. This shouldn't even be a conversation out of her mouth.
Right.
She should have been guiding and teaching the younger women how to learn to listen and love to their husbands, not even getting in this argument. So the Most High had to make a more apparent point. We're using Miriam. Go ahead.
And she put herself equal.
Right.
With a man.
Exactly right. When our woman equal with men? La'ah. Verse 11. Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my one, I beseech thee, lay not sin upon us.
Right.
wherein we have done foolishly,
Mm-hmm.
and wherein we have sinned.
Right.
Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb.
Right.
And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, Heal her now, O power, I beseech thee.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto, and the one said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, shall she not have been ashamed?
Right.
7 days, let her be shut out from the camp. 7 days.
Right.
And after that, let her be received again.
All right, so the Most High said, you know what? I'm a healer, but she's going to have to hold this real quick. Right? She's just not going to get off that easy. She's going to have to feel some type of shame as to what she did. Like the captain said, she put herself in a position she just hadn't been dealing with in the first place. Read.
And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days. And the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again.
Right.
And afterward, the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran.
So that concludes the portion. Let's give the Most High a round of applause. All right, a lot of great wisdom coming out. Remember, in the book of Numbers, we just have to understand that this is a good example of the people murmuring, right? The evil heart of unbelief, right? Not wanting to listen to the Most High, not having the faith in the Most High, and seeing how this just brought bad consequences upon us. All right, so like I said, keep in mind when we read the book of Numbers, have that context in your mind to see, if that's in your spirit, get it out, get it out. And replace it with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that should truly be in your mind. So we're going to go over the announcements. So June 27th, Sisters class will be at 7 p.m. via Google Meets. So once again, that's June 27th.
I think we should just go over the new moon and Sisters class. Everything else is in the chat.
Okay, all right, come on. And on June 28th, we got the new moon. We will make preparations next Shabbat on June 25th. So new moon is on the 28th at evening. We will make preparations on June 25th. Other than that, everything else is in the chats already concerning the Feast of Tabernacles, the calendar, the dress code, for our women to continue to be enforced. And all the various cash apps to donate to the various locations of the LOV. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? All right, with that, I want to say.
So the moon will fall on what day?
Let me see. 28th. Let me see what day it is. Tuesday night. Tuesday night. Any other questions? All right, and Madium Wapanya Hakwadam, rising face east. The book of Psalms, chapter 67, in the Lashon Kodash, repeat the Hebrew. Natazah. Nagyana, Mazamwar, Shayar, Alahai, Hanan, Barak, Hanyam, Awar, Salah, Darak, Yadai, Aharatazar, Yashba'ar, Gayawam, Ain, Yada, Alahai, Ain, Yada, La'amayam, Shamak, Ranan, Shapat, Ain, Maya Shawar, Nakar, La Ahamai, Aharatazar, Salah, Ain, Yada, Alahai, Ain, Yada, Aharatazar, Nathan, Yabawala'a, Alahai, Barak, Alahai, Barak, Apas, Aharatazar, Yara, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh, the water, the Yad, Abba Yahweh, we thank you for this blessed Shabbat day that you have given unto us, oh Yahweh. Thank you for all of the souls in this room. Thank you for the safe travel that you allow everyone to have throughout the week, oh Most High. Thank you, Lord, for giving us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of our heritage today, that we may get closer into you in mind, body, and spirit, oh Yahweh. We thank you, Lord, for all of the blessings, Lord, and all of the good things, Lord, that you have blessed us with, oh Most High. May you continue to guide and protect your children, Lord, that we may beseech you in the times of our need, O Yahweh, not with murmuring hearts, Lord, but in sincerity and truth. We thank you, Lord, for all of the feast days and the gladnesses, Lord, that you have given unto us. Thank you for the brotherhood and the sisterhood, Lord, that you have given unto us. May you continue, Lord, to allow us to multiply our talents, that we continue to bring back the nation of Israel, a nation that is not desired by no one but you, O Yahweh, that we may be brought back to our land that is flowing with milk and honey, and live all our days in prosperity and peace. And this we pray unto you by Hashem Mashat Yahushua, the Word of God. Amen.
I thought that was the top singing. I want to say Pastor Mike.
Real. Yahushua's real to me. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah. Give me victory. Many people doubt it, but I can't live without it. That is why I love him so. Yahushua's real to me. There's no power. There's no power like Yahweh. Breaking of the universe. Always doing wondrous things. Let all Israel sing. Amen. Say amen. 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 Hallelujah. 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 Amen. 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Countdown. 1. Abraham. 2. Isaac. 3. Jacob. 4. Brothers wake up. 5. To reality. 6. Nationality. Hit. Israel. Late at night when I'm sleeping and my spirit starts to creeping in my boots. In my boots. In my boots. In my boots. Let's get to heaven. Let's get to heaven. When I get to heaven. When I get to heaven. People wanna say. People wanna say. How'd you earn your living? How'd you earn your living? And how'd you earn your pay? And how'd you earn your pay? And I reply with a little bit of anger. And I reply with a little bit of anger. I earn my living as an Israelite ranger. I earn my living as an Israelite ranger. I carry my Bible by my side. I carry my Bible by my side. Gonna carry my Bible to the day I die. Gonna carry my Bible to the day I die. Israel. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise his name.
Hallelujah.
Praise his name.
Hallelujah.
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 All praises. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa, whoa, standing tall, looking good.
Standing tall, looking good.
Preaching to our neighborhood.
Preaching
To our neighborhood. Standing tall, looking good.
Standing tall, looking good.
Preaching to our neighborhood.
Preaching
To our neighborhood. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Hallelujah.
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 Praise his name.
Hallelujah.
Praise his name.
Hallelujah.
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 All praise. Get the Most High hand.
What you said? What?
She's stuck.
She's stuck?
Yeah, I think because you taught, he said you might be able to help her. No, I'm dead ass. I'm not trying to all right. Ace been ready to fight me since yesterday, bro. You think I'm stalking?
The rest.
Serious.
ASAP, the swing rescuer.
I told him he got a superhero name too. You're so forgetful, bro. I told him that's his power, bro. It's forgetfulness. You got the Amazon man.
The Amazon.
Why would she go? She even has a brain of her own.
Chill out. Why don't want to get you in a fight at a party, man?
Yeah, man. Idiot. Idiot.
And what you said?
All right. And now you gotta go fight.
Bro, the jit stuck in the swing, bro.
She doesn't even have to mind of her own. I'm gonna die. Do something. Do something. Revive me. You're feeling so trash.
Shabbat, you too big for that. You stay back?
Huh?
No, stay back?
Yes. You stay back.
I asked you. You snitched on him.
Well, I didn't stay back. Poppy, I didn't stay back to school, right? I did not.
I already gonna be so sincere.
Isn't that a good place?
Y'all ain't have the line, man.